this is also an over-explaining video. No, I just tend to do that naturally. Just a little disclaimer, I always have to find something to explain. That's just how it goes with me. So let's jump right in. First, I'd like to show you because the first night I felt chilly sitting outside with some friends at a picnic table with some drinks, and I was feeling very chilly, and my feet when I got into bed last night were so cold. My toes were so cold, like little blocks of ice. So I had to put on a pair of thick socks. And I'm getting excited about putting together a Halloween costume. I'm thinking of something Hitchcock inspired. I'm trying to avoid falling deeply into a super tangential ramble. So I'm kind of tiptoeing around the topic of fall, Halloween, all the things that go along with the season changing and going into the holidays. You know, Halloween really kicks it off because a lot of people feel that the day Halloween is over, you can start the countdown for the winter holidays, even though we're still in the middle of fall. So there are pluses and minuses, pros and cons to that timeline. If you are anxious about the holidays, it feels like you don't get to fully enjoy fall because this more stressful time of year is creeping in. You have to already think about holiday shopping and travel plans and so on and so forth. So it encroaches a little. But if you love the winter holidays, then it just extends your season for celebration. So it's all perspective, you know. It's always interesting to hear someone's thoughts on when it's the right time to put up holiday decor. Specifically, like I guess I'm thinking of Christmas because, you know, that's the very mainstream thing in the United States. Even on a secular level, like the Christmas decor is very ubiquitous. Whether or not that's fair, that's the commercial side of the holiday really inundates stores and television, and you know, you really see trappings of it everywhere, starting, you know, if not as early as September, October, then certainly right after Halloween has concluded. So if you're not from the United States, just to give you some context when I'm talking about like this timeline, and knowing that in the United States Thanksgiving is celebrated at a different time than it is in Canada. If you do celebrate, and yeah, so that adds to the kind of ramp up that we have going into the holiday season, you know, because there's another holiday, a bigger holiday, only about a month ahead of Christmas, kind of smack dab between Halloween and Christmas. soon as fall hits, and it's all these big holidays in quick succession, because they're also the holidays with lots of themes that lend themselves to, decor, paraphernalia, fancy dress, like costume parties, blah 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 blah. I think, there's a little bit of that also with Easter, the 4th of July. Easter This stone of unconditional love opens the heart chakra. Opens the heart chakra to love in all of its forms. Lowers stress and soothes. Take a look. just